Hello everybody. So, this is the video where I'm going to go over my deck list. If you are a Patreon, thank you guys so much for your support. You guys are seeing this before the duel. Now, I was lucky enough to open some pretty damn good cards. I do not know what Anthony pulled because we agreed that we're just not going to watch each other's opening videos, which is respectable. I had built a YDK with on Yugioh Pro, so I'll have a copy of the YDK, and I'll have a link to it on the Patreon. Everybody else, I'll make sure to go over this for you so you guys can, see everything. All right, so on to the deck list proper. So, Blue Eyes of White Dragon was banned. That is unfortunate. Thankfully, we're not in Legend of Blue Eyes format anymore. We're in Metal Raiders, where I actually got some pretty decent spell cards to keep things going. So what I'm running here is a 40 card deck, which is effectively functioning as a 34 card deck because I have 3 Pot of Greed. Yeah. If anything, this is going to be the deck that's going to be the card that's going to get banned if I win. And God, there's a part of me that wants to throw the game just to make sure I can ban whatever shenanigans he's up to. Regardless, we got a Dark Magician and a Red Eyes Black Dragon, all well and good. 2 solid beat sticks. Anthony still, I think, has like the stronger beat sticks, which is why I've got some things for my spells to kind of help with that. Skull Red Bird, a 3-of, a rock solid monster that is basically the highest attack normal summonable with no asterisks, and an Aqua Mador just in case I need to go on the defensive a little bit. Dark Elf is a 2000 attack beater. While this is GOAT format and life points matter a lot more, I'm still taking the approach of the only life point that matters is the last one. Bistro Butcher. This was a controversial choice, but I've got enough counterplay in the deck where I'm kind of okay with my opponent drawing 2 cards. Plus, there's a part of me that wants to save something like this as kind of a late game option. You know what I mean? A part of me is kind of hoping that I can sort of use a Swords of Revealing Light paired with Tribute of the Doomed and other shenanigans to sort of get things better. But I'm hoping if this ends up being a problem, I've got a side deck this time. Crass Clown. This is basically just to bounce some things, which might be handy, although I think some other ones might be more useful. Big Eye, this is basically so I can get to cards I want quicker. Definitely a decent way to unbrick my hand. Basically, the Mass Sorcerer is kind of more, is more defensive in stat, but in the event I am able to inflict damage, it would be nice to get a draw. So this might be one I use when I'm attacking him directly. Again, 3 Big Eyes. A Dream Clown, which, basically does what Crass Clown does, but it destroys it. Kind of how I'm going with that is that while Crass Clown absolutely is good for bouncing, bouncing 2 mat monsters and stuff on the field, this is good for destruction if I just absolutely need to get rid of it. If he summons one of his biggins, that's kind of where this one comes in. This is for basically everything else to make sure they just can't summon it next turn. Sangan, this is just solid, searching. This is how I can get my mass sorcerer. This is how I can get my Big Eye. This is how I can get the Crass Clown. This is how I can get access to other things. Man-Eater Bug, a rock solid flip monster in this format. Really good. Again, Tribute to the Doomed. Discard a card, target 1 monster on the field and destroy it. That's going to be very helpful given that I have, oddly, a lot of draw power in this deck. So that ought to be interesting. 2 copies of that. Swords of Revealing Light. Give me 3 turns of basically being safe. Sword and Shield. This is kind of like a way for me to like turn things like Aqua Medor into better beat sticks. Maybe be able to beat over something with Mass Sorcerer. All very well and good. Raigeki. This is the type of card that I'm gonna hold out until like I have to use it. Frankly, it's too valuable to like just shotgun right off the top. But there's a lot of card advantage and stuff, and not a lot of special summoning. So, you know, maybe if I'm in a corner, this would be a good way to get a comeback. 3 Pot of Greed. This card was banned for a reason, and it basically turns my 40 card deck into a 34 card deck. There's also it's same reason why Upstart Goblin was banned in the TCG. Horn of Heaven. This card is basically the best I'm gonna get of a solemn judgment. Do I want to tribute a monster of my own? Not particularly, but you know, I can negate the summon of a monster and destroy it. He's still gonna be able to summon that turn, but like if I can use that on, say, the summon of like a big beater and send it immediately to the graveyard, that could be a great trap. Heavy Storm. I'm not going to use this when I have any traps on the field, but it's definitely useful for wiping a board short because I wasn't able to get Harpy's Feather Duster, so here we are. Two-pronged attack. This is the trap I want to use the least, but in a worst case scenario, it'll suffice. Robin Goblin. Every time your opponent, so this card is sort of how to. I'm planning on counteracting, you know, if I do end up having to lean on the Bistro Butcher, this is kind of how I'm planning to lean on that a little bit. I might check my ratios a little bit see if the Bistro, depending on what we get next pack, I might make more of a build out of this. Stop Defense. This is kind of just to get around things like Aqua Medor, Mystical Elf, Giant Soldier of Stone, etc. Just beat over, you know, big monsters with big asses. And lastly, Share the Pain. So this will kind of like this card basically is sort of just to like kind of like equalize the field a little bit. If I already have a monster on field or something, this is just, I might end up swapping this out for like another monster, maybe 2 Mystical Elves or something, because this feels like a win more card, but we'll see what ends up happening. No extra deck. In the side deck, I have 3 copies of Tremendous Fire, 2 copies of Mystical Elf, 1 of White Magical Hat. Realistically, I think, you know what I'm going to do? I think I'm going to swap that out for this. Yeah. Because, again, when it inflicts battle damage to my opponent's life points, your opponent discards 1 card randomly from his or her hand. I think that's way too valuable to give up. But yeah, that is it functionally in a nutshell. I'm feeling pretty good. I do not know what Anthony has cooked up, but I feel like this is a pretty solid deck. I'm running a 34 card deck, and everything should kind of go good. We'll kind of see how badly I eat my words. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so very much for kicking it with me. Thank you so much to my patrons again. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, and I appreciate you. And thank you so much to the normal viewers who are watching this now. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate your interest in the series, and I encourage you, if you aren't already subbed, to do so and join our Discord. I'd love to, if you're not in the Discord already, I'd love to like talk with you and get to know people in my community, you know. But that's it. I'm recording this around 4-ish right now. It's gonna go out at about, we're gonna start streaming in about 4 hours. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys very soon. Have a good one.
Poggers.